Hey there, I'm Jem from Gem of Magic. Do you love playing Magic the Gathering but you're really fucking poor? Me too! How's it going, buddy? Well, if you manage to somehow acquire one of the new Commander precons, but you can't afford sleeves, you can't afford card sleeves, but you still want to protect your cards, what are you going to do? Are you just going to play unsleeved like some kind of savage? Or are you going to steal some card sleeves as well? They're so much harder to steal. No, no, no. Don't do that. I've got a solution that might work for you. Here I am to share my tips on budget card sleeving options for the Magic player. So what you do is you get this Glad wrap, cling wrap, any kind of wrap is good. I like the brand Glad wrap because I feel that it's a pretty good quality brand. Okay, if you don't have any Glad wrap in your own house, what you can do is you can go over to your mum's house or your dad's house. They'll probably have Glad wrap there. Now, what you do, okay, is you try to get this. I mean, it's quite, I managed it okay this time. Usually it's pretty tricky. So what you do, you try and keep the serrated edge away from your cards. That's had bad consequences to some of my cards in the past. So that's a hint. Now you just rip it like so. It tries to bunch up and do some weird stuff. Now today I'm going to be sleeving my Edgar Markov red, white, black deck, right? So he's the most important card because he's my commander. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place him down, face down, like this on the cling wrap. And then you just kind of wrap it up like this. Just wrap it up, okay? The key is to put the excess stuff on the back of the card because no one really cares about the backs of the cards, so that the front of the card is still very visible. Do you see that? Now that's just as good as any kind of, costly, expensive shield like Dragon Shield or the Eclipse shields. No water is getting in here. It keeps it fresh. It has a tight, so it keeps food fresh for longer. Well, this isn't even food, so imagine how fresh it will stay for how long. They've been doing it for 50 years. I don't think most of the card sleeve companies have been going around for 50 years. Our products keep getting better. With latest technology, a best ever cling wrap now has 50% better cling. How much cling do our card sleeves have, right? I don't think they have that much cling. Probably like 20% cling. Easy and safe to dispense, right? You just got to keep away from the serrated edge. It's a common mistake lots of people make. Whether you're controlling meal portions, prepping, cooking, or storing food, count on Glad. Now, I'm sure they meant to add wrapping magic cards in Glad wrap, but they ran out of space because they're very economical. So it's good for portioning, so you can have, whatever kind of deck size you want. This works for commander decks, but it also works for 60 card decks, like standard decks. But of course, you're not going to be playing standard if you're poor. It works for your pauper decks. Preparing, so you can put the stuff on it. Steaming, I wouldn't advise steaming your magic cards. It does create a bit of a bend problem, so, don't do that. Protecting. Protecting. See, it says it right here. It protects our cards. Okay, so one is done. Now I just have 100 more cards to go. And then I'm going to have the best, most protected commander deck you guys have ever seen. It's going to be awesome. And, sometimes they stick to each other, but that's okay. Now we've got some Swords to Plowshares. And so just, again, the same technique, right? I put it face down on the Glad wrap. Very carefully, you try and kind of hold it out. And then you just sort of fold it over. Oh, that's good. Okay. And we fold it again and again. Okay. So here we have two folded cards. Okay. It makes it, I don't know if you can see that. It makes it about this thick. But, that's all right. And it does make it a little bit harder to shuffle because, as they said, cling wrap is very, very sticky, very, very clingy. But I'm sure you'll agree that it is much better to play with protected cards than completely unprotected cards. And who amongst us can afford card sleeves now, really? So there's my solution. Do with it what you will. Just a suggestion, just from me, for the poorer players out there. Yep, and then you just gotta find like a box that will fit, 100 cling wrap sleeved cards. So, this is 2, so extrapolate from that to 100. Probably about that. You probably need a box about that long. Now, boxes is another issue that I can get to another way. Obviously, most people can't afford actual, deck boxes. What you can do is you can get tissue boxes, and you can just kind of layer them in like that. I would try and show you, but unfortunately, I can't actually afford tissue boxes right now, so I don't have any tissue boxes to show you with. But if you imagine this is a tissue box, right? You can just imagine it, and then you put your cards in, and if you've got extra cling wrap, you can use that as a filler, but probably not. You probably want to save those for your cards. So as filler, you could probably use all your unpaid bills. You just kind of scrunch them up, put them in the sides just to hold the cards nice and securely. And that way, our cards are just as protected as anyone who has a fancy, official card sleeve. There you go. Thanks for watching.